was David's regular assistant for 8 years, from about 1990 to 1998, my undergrad, grad school, and beyond. I'd like to share some notes I didn't take from a journal I didn't keep at the time. Tuesday, 6 p.m. First production meeting today with Wheeler at the helm. Set design can only be described as superb. David hemmed and hawed, somewhat unconvinced. Out on the street after, he laughed and said, "No, I love it. But I never accept the first drawings I see from a set designer, even if I think they're completely brilliant. You watch, she'll bring something even better in tomorrow." Wednesday, 4 p.m. Once again, it's a totally easygoing, positive vibe in the rehearsal room. He told the cast, "You know what? We aren't getting paid enough not to have fun." Everybody laughed. Wheeler keeps on introducing me as a Harvard man. Wish he'd stop. Berkeley, California, a week before Tech. Our leading guy, John, is literally upending the blocking every single rehearsal. He stopped checking in with Wheeler about it, and he's asking for new props, and he's doing this jarring pacing thing, and he got so aggressive today that Tracy went up on her lines. It's painfully obvious that a lot of the cast is going to really detest John's, shall we call it, exuberance. Two of them came up to me and were like, "Tim, I have to tell David that if John steps on my line one more time or yells at me like that again, I'm out of here." Wheeler, unconcerned, seems to be enjoying it actually. Scenes are good. Wow. David paid for my flight today. Said he did with frequent flyer miles, but I can see that he had. This morning, Wheeler freaked out everybody in the line of Dunkin' Donuts doing that imitation of Quintero. "David, David, David, we must never inhibit what might happen with what we think should happen." It was really loud. After rehearsal today, Wheeler goes, "See, Tim, I know the guy isn't the brightest ball on the porch, but he's a stage animal. He's a stage animal." Trinity Rep opening night. Couldn't believe it when he told an actress she was a good-looking dame. I felt like I was suddenly in a production of South Pacific. ART, 8 p.m. Whoa. David won't let poor Raymond Black be. Wants less character acting, more backbone in the conflict at hand. Seems to not like any choice the guy makes. Keeps nudging and nudging, making suggestions for almost every beat. Never seen David more frustrated. Manhattan, about 2 a.m. After treating me to the Albee play at the Roundabout, he persuaded me to run with him to Dance Theatre Workshop for the Bogart show, which he thought would end before the second show at the Kitchen, which he wanted to see. Backstage at Hasty Pudding, 12 noon. We walked into the first read late today. Why? Because Wheeler spent about 15 minutes parking that huge boat of a car in this crazily small illegal parking space. Became obsessed with the project. Left the car with 2 wheels on the sidewalk. Wasn't towed for some reason. March 23rd, Wheeler employs a bit of directorial magic today, unlocks the energy of the scene, and helps out 2 very stuck actors by having them play catch with a box of matches. Haven't seen David for 2 months, but he called me today to say that he had no choice but to take Robert, given that it's an alley, it's at the alley, but they were actually fighting him on having Maggie for Lil. Can I imagine that? That he even got Dawn to call him from California to harangue him, but that they were still dragging their feet. I'm thinking, what's the show? Who's Robert? Who's Dawn? Who's dragging feet? Dragging where? Is it a compliment that he always assumes I know more than I do? Reason number 237 to adore David Wheeler. The way he interrogates random audience members at intermission and after the show. And at the end of the act, is it clear he's hiding the money? And did you catch why? Incontrovertible truth, Mr. David Wheeler cut Shaw better than anyone else in the universe. We should publish the Wheeler edition of Man and Superman script and save future generations the trouble. Okay, so I thought the theater was paying me, but I just found out that my pay came out of David's directing fee. After I had to thank you immediately. Does Bronya know? Act 2 101 told the class today that Sam Shepard monologues are to be played like jazz. Pittsburgh Playhouse, awful play, Monday, 9 a.m. David's always taking one of the actors aside to speak in hushed tones. Love that. You can see the actors' eyes light up as they get their little secret project. The essence of play. Harvard Directing 101. where's the threat, where's the conflict, what's the behavior? After the first run through, when I told him that I was loving what Annie Kay was doing, he says, Tim, she's the real thing. I mean, look at her eyes, look at them. Always something going on in her head, always something sparking in there. Huge interior life. Consumed 5 Stop and Shop muffins today and little else. Hooked me up with the artistic director, bought me supper, wrote me another rec, showed up at theater tickets for Friday, celebrated when I got a gig of my own, came to my preview, came to opening night, came to the show in the middle of the run, came into closing night. Told me he liked my work, but that he really appreciated me because he thought I had a good heart and I was a good person. And that was one of the nicest things anyone has ever said to me then or now, given who it was coming from. Miss you.